Ever wondered how to express the cost of something in English? Well, today we're diving into 12 common phrases to describe price. Starting with, it cost a fortune. This phrase suggests that something is very expensive, often prohibitively so. For instance, you might say, the vintage car cost a fortune. Next up, it cost an arm and a leg. This is another way of saying something is extremely expensive. For example, the designer handbag cost an arm and a leg. Then we have, it's worth every penny. This means that something is worth its cost, despite possibly being expensive. For instance, the concert tickets were expensive, but they were worth every penny. Moving on to, that's a ripoff. This suggests that something is overpriced or far more expensive than it should be. You might say, $20 for a cup of coffee, that's a ripoff. Our fifth phrase is, that's a bit pricey. This is a polite way to say that something is somewhat expensive. For example, the steak at this restaurant is a bit pricey. Next, that's quite reasonable. This means that the price of something is fair or acceptable. An example would be, the price for these shoes is quite reasonable. Then there's, that's a good deal. This suggests that something is a good value for the amount of money. For instance, this 2-for-1 sale is a good deal. Our eighth phrase is, it was a real bargain. This means that something was bought for less than its usual price. For example, I bought this jacket on sale, it was a real bargain. Next up, you get what you pay for. This phrase suggests that the quality of something is usually equivalent to what you pay for it. You might say, the cheap blender broke after a week, I guess you get what you pay for. Then we have, I can't afford it. This simply means that something is too expensive for your budget. For example, I'd love to go on vacation, but I can't afford it right now. Next, it's a splurge, but I couldn't resist. This means that you spent more money than you usually would because you really wanted something. For instance, I bought the designer shoes. It was a splurge, but I couldn't resist. Lastly, it's too good to pass up. This means that the deal or price is so good that you can't resist buying it. For example, the sale at the bookstore was too good to pass up. So to recap, we have 12 common phrases to describe price. It cost a fortune, it cost an arm and a leg, it's worth every penny, that's a ripoff, that's a bit pricey, that's quite reasonable, that's a good deal, it was a real bargain, you get what you pay for, I can't afford it, it's a splurge, but I couldn't resist, and it's too good to pass up. Each of these phrases offers a unique way to express the cost of something in English. Use them wisely to accurately convey your thoughts on price.